morning and welcome to Frank's School. I hope you're going to be able to see this whole thing. This is a chart that I'm going to start. I'm not much of an artist, but I really think it's necessary. And what I want to do is just say where the various water wheels are planned for on the Camp Ranch campus. That's right here of Frank's School. My house where I'm talking right now is right in here, but it doesn't show because of all the trees. All right, now the blue lines represent contour lines, but they're where water lays or flows, but dead level. So a line like this goes the whole way around the hilltop, and the water could go really in either direction as it arrives from the aqueduct. When there's a red line accompanying it, well, then it's on a fall line. Then the water's falling. So, north is in that direction. Basically, that direction. You're looking. This is east. This is west. And I've labeled the various sites for water wheels. This would be East 3. There's two creeks on this campus. Oppenheimer Run, now that actually has an official name, and it's a perennial stream. Oppenheimer Run goes along here. These creeks don't really have names yet, so I'm going to call them the West Creek. It goes like this, and it joins Oppenheimer Run here. And then there's the East Creek, and it joins Oppenheimer Run here after having an opportunity to feed the pond. They both usually go dry. This one completely dry. This one usually has a tiny bit of water right down here. All right, I don't want to be too long. All right, starting on the East Creek. The first, now this would be up in the woods further. E1 is Astrid Falls, and it's quite a high fall. That's an opportunity for a Pelton wheel, a penstock. It might be 20 or more feet high. After the water starts at Grandpa Jim Weir and starts out here on its way, it could be dropped there. That water, most of the time, is more useful to irrigate the hilltop, but at times it would be an opportunity for a very high fall. After the water goes down there, it could Thomas Weir is the next place I would divert it out to a potential site which I would call Sarah. I call it Sarah Falls. I guess it would be Thomas Wheel if I built one there. Not sure about that. It wouldn't be a really big one, and I'm not sure. It's just a potential site. All right, so anyway, that water comes virtually to level out here across the aqueduct. I had an inverted aqueduct before. Let me turn that camera just a little. I'm afraid you there. And then, as I say, it irrigates the hilltop. It basically disappears. It's quite difficult to get the water, and even rare to get the water onto the far side of the hill. This is the highest spot on the farm. The slope, the mountain is there, and there. The slope tends to be this way. All right, so that water then goes into the hilltop. Going on here now at Jeffrey Weir, I divert the water and I bring it out here. This is Barbie Falls. This would be E3 would be Jeffrey Wheel. It also is very high, maybe 20 feet, an opportunity for a penstock or a very big water wheel. The water would drop actually to a level underneath this cartway that goes out through here. Here's a road. This is a cartway. Underneath the cartway to here. Now there it's joined by water at Adam Weir that taps it out and brings it out here. This would be Jess Falls. It would be Adam Wheel, I guess. This is problematic because it goes across old foundations, and when I keep it full of water, it really keeps this area quite wet. But it's doable. It would fall there. This is right at the Hammer Hut. I mean, it's a whole complex of shops by the time we get here. Now, this is, for lack of I call this Frank Weir. It used to be a place where water coming from what is now another property, it was brought here and joined this, in which case it was a lot of water. The water from Oppenheimer Run, which is quite strong, ran it through the pond and on. The property's been divided, and that I was not able to get arranged to get water rights or the boundaries in such a way that I could preserve that. But in a way, it's okay because this water is sweeter. I think it's got more limestone in it. It seemed to be affecting the chemistry of the pond. There was a different kind of weed that began to grow in the pond as a result of that water when I had it running. All right, and it comes out through here and drops first at Donna Falls, and this would be, I guess this would be Andy Wheel, because Donna is Andy's partner. And then here at Jane Falls, so let's see, that's E5, this E6 is Jane Falls, Jane my wife. This I guess would be Frank Wheel. It's there, it doesn't have the buckets on it, but it's underneath the building. Then it would drop and join water coming from Court Weir, which, now see the property line now goes about like that. So I'm still able to tap into Oppenheimer Run here, and it would go over Elizabeth Falls, which would be quite low, but have a very strong flow of water if I had all the water available. Oh, I should say these would be overshot wheels, all of these except this one would probably be a small breast wheel. There is a spring house down here, the water turns and falls. And here there's an opportunity to divert it because of sort of the natural lay of the, well, it's not natural, but this would be Bill Weir, where I would divert it, and this would be Nina Falls. So this wheel, if I built it, would be Bill Wheel. It would be almost ornamental, just so visitors coming in would see something. It would not be, well, that's not necessarily true, but it's not, it's dropping down into the floodplain. And you're not really allowed to build anything on a floodplain here. It would have to be temporary or whatever. And and then if it didn't drop there at Nina Falls, it could go around. And the water, well, let me use that then to go on to the west side. So there's 8 potential wheels on the east side. On the west side, starting back in here, Michael Weir diverts water. There's a potential right in here to build a water wheel. I would call it Elliott Wheel after Michael's grandson, and this is Joyce Falls after Michael and Joyce's grandson, for whom they're very fond, of whom they're very fond. Not likely. I mean, I would do that if I had a lot of guests here and we decided, hey, let's do that. But anyway, the water goes on to Erica Falls, and here, this is, in a way is already built. I just need to put it back in place and repair it. The west 2, that would be Stellan Wheel, after my grandson, Erica's son. And W3 is Nadir Wheel, that's after Erica's husband, Nadir Wheel. One or the other, I mean, they could share the water if they wanted to, but they would both drop to there. From Nadir Wheel, I would drop it a second time, W5, and this would be probably Jürgen Wheel, after a friend I have in Bavaria, whom I've never met, but who's been very interested in this, a German friend. W4 would take the entire fall from there all the way down to here, which would be, oh man, 20 feet or more. And I think it would be a very big wheel, and I don't think I want that. What I want to do there is have an impact wheel. Or the history group has been given, Dutch Corner History Group has been given 2 wooden pipes, 18 foot long each one, and we don't know what to do with them. Well, I suggested I could maybe wrap them with wire to make them strong enough that they wouldn't burst under pressure, and that way they could actually have water running in it to drive a wheel there. Right in here, I want to make an up and down sawmill. Anyway, after this complex, then this, whatever. It comes down to here. Now back in here, there's John Weir, recently built, named after a friend John. And this, I referred to the jungle. I said at one point, welcome to the jungle. Well, this is a virtual jungle because of poor drainage, extensive mining along this cliff right here, and for various reasons. But anyway, it brings the water supply longer than further up. And so anyway, the water comes through here, goes above the Impossible Garden, and I would drop it here. This is Dana Falls, but I would call the wheel, I guess, John Wheel. It would be an undershot wheel. These overshot, except for that impulse. And let's see, I didn't show how it dropped because it's a little complicated, but it would drop. And here I may actually put a windmill to pump water up, because this is potentially always possible to always keep full. This would run water in either direction, but Oppenheimer Run does not run dry. So it's quite possible to bring water all the way to here and have a windmill to pump it up so I could irrigate the Impossible Garden when the water stops in the other two creeks. All right, so it would drop there. Then it could go this way, it could go this way. If it went this way, I would probably put a tub wheel here. And this spot is the only spot on the farm that I have some suspicion there may have once been a mill, a water-powered mill right in here. We're right up against the mining, and it's very complicated because of what the mining did. All right, then if the water kept going down, this would be well, back in here is Charles Weir, after my father-in-law, which I'll probably try to restore. This would be Dave Wheel, after Nina's son-in-law and Bill's son-in-law, Dave Wheel. And then this one down here, if I would do it, again, this would be almost just ornamental, maybe even something on wheels, because now I'm once again down in the floodplain. This could potentially be a very powerful wheel, but it's so close to the road where it would be. And I guess it doesn't have a name yet, but I guess if I would ever build it, it would probably be Megan or Sam Wheel, named after their descendants. All right, well, this maybe been a little bit long, but this is sort of for posterity. So if somebody wandered out there and tried to figure out what the heck was Frank doing, well, here you can sort of see it. Now, I've been in a hurry in a way to do this, but it's delayed because it took some time, because I want to now talk about this Impossible Garden. Since these ditches or abysses are on contours, if you block them up, they spill water the whole way along and they irrigate. And that's most evident right now, right here. And this area I've called the Impossible Garden, and I want to turn to it later. This is going to be the Impossible Garden Part 2. But, all right, I think for now that ends Water Wheels, and see you next time.